Now we're good.
All right. First episode of an album review for us. Drew and I have gone with Hollywood Undead's New Empire
Volume 2.
And you know why we went with Volume 2 instead of 1?
Because Volume 2 just came out.
And it's significantly better.
And it is significantly better. But let's first preface it this way. We've been huge Hollywood Undead fans ever since Swan Song. So from the very beginning.
From the get-go. It was to the point before we had any of their identities. And Drew and I were like, is Charlie Eminem?
The people had rumored that like Charlie was M, and I'm a huge M fan, and I was like, if M is in this group, it's game over.
And to be fair, it turned out to be game over because Undead is in my top 5. I love Hollywood Undead.
We love Undead. I love Undead. Swan Song. I love the original style. But ever since then, they've continued just to rock out. So we're excited to review Volume 2 here.
I was going to say, so we'll dive into New Empire Volume 2 from Hollywood Undead. I think we'll just start from the top. We'll go song by song.
Yeah.
Start with Medicate is almost entirely Charlie, which is a great thing. Charlie is so good. He's easily my
favorite. He's the heart of the band. I think you could say Charlie's probably the heart of the band.
I agree. And it was funny is like you saw his role almost every album more and more and more as they went through it.
Right. And Medicate too, building off right from the beginning, we get something a little bit different from Undead. It's got a little bit more of that pop-ish feel to it, but they still integrate their style with it, with a little bit of the screaming in the back. I don't know. I thought they did a really good job with that, and it'd be interesting to see if they continue adding more songs similar to that, through the course of their next albums and things like that.
I'd almost say that's been Charlie's role, has been to switch up the tempo on the albums. You look at Bullet, and keep going through that. War Child. Yep. He typically has the songs that are the most different. Medicate is almost entirely Charlie, I think, through almost the entire thing. I think it's a cool way. So I would say from reading reviews before the album came out, almost all of them said typical Undead, nothing new. And then I was interested to hear the first song right off the rip
is completely different.
Yeah, so I don't understand
where you're coming from with that.
But I thought Medicate was an awesome way to start it off because it's a little different. I think really.
Yeah, I think that's fun. They've been in the industry now for years, so I think it's okay to experiment and try things a little bit different.
Well, I think they've done that for a long time, yeah.
They have, but they've always stayed, even though they've tried new things, they've always kind of kept true to who they are as well, which I've always admired.
Yeah, and then I think you'll come in with, ironically, number 2, Coming Through the Stereo.
Yes, that's one of my favorites off the album.
And it's that, what's his name, Hyro the Hero? Is that the rapper in it?
Yeah, I'm looking at my other screen here. It is Hyro the Hero, yep.
Dude, he's got a song with David Draymond, I believe. He's popping up everywhere.
I'm going to have to look more into him because I like what he did on this song. If he's in there with David Draymond, I'm a huge Disturbed fan, so I need to figure out more about him. This song is fire.
It's once again, guess who's singing the choruses?
It's your boy Charlie.
Yep.
And you see Johnny also with him on the chorus as well in this song.
And this chorus, now I would say this is more typical Undead.
Yep.
But this is about to be honest, I think the first 3 songs are about peak Undead. I think they're a little all of them are very different.
Right.
All of them are pretty catchy on the choruses. And then Coming Through the Stereo, especially, I think it's just that it's an anthem. It's one of those.
That's a good way to put it.
It's one of those concert get everybody going anthems.
Yep. And I love what Funny did on this track too. Funny, they've done a really good job with Funny. He's not going to spit like Charlie and Johnny. They kind of keep him somewhat contained and somewhat minimalized in his lyrics.
His role, I would actually say, is kind of underutilized. He's not on here a ton, and he absolutely kills it.
He does kill it. But again, I think he's got his own. You can only go so far with Funny.
Guzzle Guzzle is a great example.
Yes, exactly.
Guzzle Guzzle from a previous album. I love that song, especially because it's a different. Once again, I'm talking about how different Undead can be. That song,
the range is
so
crazy.
Different.
Yep.
And it's so good. And that leads us to Ghost Out. Maybe my favorite chorus Undead has ever done, and of course, it's Charlie.
Yeah.
I love what I think. What is it? I'm But I'm dope now at the end of it. I think it's great.
Which one are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Ghost Out.
Yes, that's another one of my favorites. Yeah,
I think it's the best chorus they've ever done. I love it.
And to me, Ghost Out is prime Undead too. That reminds me of kind of old school.
It's got more of a
Undead.
rap beat. The chorus is more rap than it is rock.
Right, exactly.
I love Ghost Out. Gonna Be Okay. It's once again, it's just that's more of a mainstream rock song.
Which one?
Gonna Be Okay.
Yep, and that's your boy. That's Danny on there.
I was gonna say that's where Danny starts really shining. And ironically, I think he carries this song.
I agree.
I think he carries this song. I think the chorus is extremely hooky.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, this one belongs to Danny, and I think he killed it.
Yep, and then I love towards the end when they do the chorus, but they kick up the tempo.
Yeah,
I can't get enough of that. I think it's so good.
Yep, really, really good song.
Yep,
with Gonna Be Okay.
And then Monsters. I like Monsters a lot. I think you're more of a Monsters fan, though.
Love Monsters. Love the sound. Again, it reminds me of an old school Hollywood Undead. Lyrically, it's there. But yeah, the chorus is kind of dark. It's kind of got a dark, more of a hip hop vibe to it, which I really like. And then Kill Station comes in with who I need to look more into. But I really like the sound that he brought to the song as well.
I'll tell you something I found very interesting. So we're going to talk about Idol now, which is 6. They put out a little while back, actually, with Tech 9.
Dude, Tech 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Tech 9. It's awesome to see Tech 9 with Hollywood Undead. I think Tech 9 is a little underrated in the hip hop community, unfortunately. He's one of the stronger lyricists out there. So to see him on a Hollywood Undead album, I think is pretty cool. It almost kind of puts him in front of a new audience. And I think it works well.
And it's an interesting mix-up between the two, or combination.
Yes,
Undead and Tech 9. I do want to say, I found it very interesting. So they have Idol on here.
Yep.
And then they have about 18 versions of Idol.
Yeah, I don't know why. We talked about it too. Why do they have so many? Do we have a logical explanation?
I don't. But what I don't understand is, I don't know if you remember, like a couple months ago, they put out a song called The End with 0936.
Vaguely, yeah.
I don't know why that song's not in this album. That was a great song.
Yeah.
And it was put out pretty near Idol, I believe. So I don't understand why that doesn't make it and Idol does, but I love that song. That was a very rap, very hard rock song.
But you're not a huge Idol fan, right?
No. I think Idol's pretty good. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't hit home with me. Like, I can see how people like it a lot. But if I had to choose my least favorite on the song or on the album, it's probably going to be Idol.
Which one?
Yeah. Well, it's weird. Kirk 92 is the best song I've ever heard.
Yeah, because Tech 9 is the one that we hear first featured on Idol. And then after that, I think it's the last several songs. And yeah, they finish it out with Ghost Kid and then Kirk 92.
Yep. And I will say, now back to the reviews where I said this sounds like Undead.
Yep.
Like a typical Undead album. I disagree, but song 7, I'll actually say, I like the song, but it is very, very basic Undead with Coming Home. Yes. I feel like they always have that one song that just sounds kind of mainstream rock.
Kind of a little outlier.
It's a safe song. Right. It's just it's almost like a filler song, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think it's a good song. I don't think it's great. I don't think it'll ever get become a huge radio hit.
Is that Danny on the chorus as well there?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I would assume so.
Good check.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's a good album. Or it's a good song, don't get me wrong.
It's Danny and Charlie. So they both kind of go at it on the chorus. Yeah,
I think, like I said, if there was one song where I could say, okay, that does sound like they didn't really go out on a branch there, it would be Coming Home. Do you agree, disagree with that?
I agree with that. I do. I'd have to listen to Coming Home again. I've been pretty hardcore with Ghost Out, Monster, and Medicate, to be honest. I need to go back and listen to some of these other ones, like Coming Home. But from what I remember, it's a safe song.
Now, I will say, going into, I think, what are we, on track 8 already? Yeah, Unholy. My wife's favorite song on the album. Unholy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
She's kind of like me, where she loves Charlie. And I believe Danny does the choruses and Charlie does the rapping on this album. Right. Or on this song, sorry.
I can fact check us.
We'll probably need it. But I really like this song too. It does remind me a lot of Disease by Undead on an old album. but I love this song.
Yeah, Danny's on the chorus, and then Charlie is the rest. It's him and Danny.
Yeah, this song reminds me a lot of Disease, I would say.
What album was Disease?
You know, you think we'd have the background research already ahead of this, but we don't. Disease is going to be...
What is Disease?
Day of the Dead.
Yes.
So their 4th album.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Banger.
think it's a good song. Yeah, but I think Unholy's really good, and
I
think
it was worth it.
Okay, let me try and phrase this correctly. The actual sound of the song, is very mainstream Undead. Okay. The lyrics are something off the top of my head I don't know I've seen Undead do before.
And what do you mean by that?
It's like a love song. It's them. I think it's the first time they've been vulnerable, saying, "Yeah, hey, like we wanted this girl," as opposed to Charlie saying, "Bang sluts, undead, unfed," that kind of stuff.
I agree with that. It's a different side of Undead that we maybe haven't seen.
For sure, and that's why, like, those reviews that said it's a typical Undead album, they wouldn't branch out. That's why it irritates me. It's like, okay, on this song in particular, sure, it sounds like a basic Undead song, but lyrically, it's so different than anything they've put out. Yep. I think I'll Be There is the closest they've done, probably lyrically. Yeah. I don't even think it's necessarily in the same ballpark. I think this is a very different song from them.
Yes, it shows a little bit of growth too, I think, being able to do something like that.
And you have to keep in mind they've the down band members from what they used to be.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that they switched it up for once, and this was more of a
They kind of opened up a little bit. They opened up a little bit, which is nice to see.
And then so that's it with the new songs off the album.
Yeah, then it goes into Heart of Champion.
Yes, which is from Volume 1.
Right, but now they're bringing in Papa Roach.
And Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
Great song. Ice Nine Kills good. Jacoby, as always, kills it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Anything he does is great.
I don't know if I love the song as much as you do.
Really?
I want to. I really want to. It has all the making to be a great song, but something about it just not hitting home.
Yeah,
for me, maybe it'll take a few more listens. I just think it could have been better. I don't know.
What's interesting about this too is I believe you liked Volume 1 more than I did.
I did.
Yeah, yep. That's really the only song.
But I would say I would like Volume 2 probably a little bit more. It reminds me of more Hollywood Undead.
All right, so that leads us into rank. Give me a 1 through 10 rating. Okay. What would you give it? And then tell me where you think it falls, just off the top of your head, within the Undead catalog.
Okay. 1 to 10, I'm going to give Volume 2 7.5.
Okay.
7.5.
Okay.
I can't put the, I'm a sucker for Swan songs. There's something special about that album.
You are more of a rap hip hop fan. I will say that.
I am. So I'm going to naturally gravitate towards that. I really love the 5th album. Remind me of the name, please.
5.
5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah. And then American Tragedy too. I know you like.
Yes. So I those are probably my 3 favorites. I would probably put this one at 4 then for me.
All right. So that's crazy to think that you gave it a 7.5. Is that right?
Yeah.
And it's the 4th best album.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot about Undead.
Yes, it does.
For me, I hate doing this because I hate giving really high scores.
Yep.
So I'm very critical.
Yeah, you love this one. You love this.
I'm very critical. I'm giving it a 9.2.
Wow.
I think, and I'm putting. So my only complaint with it is they should not have done a part 1 and 2.
They shouldn't have had 14 idols.
Right. They should have just done one big album, because my biggest complaint with it is it's really 9 songs.
Correct.
But I just,
how do you feel? How do you feel about it just being? How do you feel about their 3 idols on there? Why do that?
So like I said, I'm not a big Idol fan, but what I will say is I do think they do have a different enough feel between the 3 of them. I don't feel like it's the exact same song copied, even though it is. But I think they've got a different enough feel. But I'm going to get a 9.2, and within Undead, I hate doing this, and I know people would say recency bias, but I promise you I rarely grade people this high. I'm going to say it's the best Undead album.
Wow.
My one complaint My one complaint being it's just really only 9 songs. I just think songs 1 through 3 might be the best Undead songs out there.
See, I don't know if I can take that leap, but I hear you. They're strong songs. They are. I just don't know if I can go that far. Undead has such an awesome catalog. I don't know if I can make that jump yet.
Right. So to give you an example of how highly I think about it, so I'm giving them a 9.2.
Yeah.
My favorite album of all time, Scars and Souvenirs by Theory of a Dead Man, I would give a 9.7. So it's
right there on it. Wow. That's powerful. I love it.
I love it.
There you go.
And the more Charlie, the more I'm going to like it.
Yeah, you're a Charlie fan all the way through. And I think everybody loves Charlie. He just brings that extra, like you said, he's the heart of the band, in my opinion.
Heart of the champion.
He is heart of the champion, 100%.
I'd say last thing before we really pull it out is, do you have any comments about Johnny's solo album? It's supposed to be early 2021.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to talk about that. I am excited for Johnny's solo album. I think that he's certainly skilled enough to put something out like that and be successful. So I'm excited for that. You said that comes out, what, in February?
I don't know the date. I think it's early 2021.
Maybe early 2021, and that's something that we will most definitely review.
I am super excited for it. I think it's going to be more up your alley with rap. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think it would be hilarious, though, if on every song, one song, he featured Danny, then he featured Charlie. Just went down
part of the band. Have Funny Man come in there do his thing.
Maybe have Deuce do a
I think Funny Man would be a nice feature in there. I think funny because he really fits that
J-Dog
mold too. J-Dog.
That is one thing J-Dog really limited in this album.
And he is. I wonder if he was more with. He's always behind the scenes with the beats and things like that though too.
Well, I know he does. You hear him a lot in the screaming too, and I know he's got a marijuana business as well.
He's just killing it.
So
he's busy.
Yeah, going off.
He's the only one that's married too, right? He's married. Isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But all right, so I think that's pretty much it for the review. You have anything else you want to add?
7.5, 9.2. All in all, Undead again. Love the album. Can't wait for more. And then Johnny will probably drop one before Undead does. So we're excited to see his album as well.
And everybody in the band's great. Charlie's perfect.
There you go. I'm done with that.